Welcome back everyone for another Evertale video. So today we're kind of going over first impressions on the new character Merlin. So what I'm gonna do is kind of like break down her kit. This is like before actually trying her out and seeing like what the AI does, but kind of like trying to see like just based off her skills, like my first impressions of her. So right off the bat, I think like the most similar character that we have already would be the SRolotia, but she's not necessarily better than her, I would say. So looking at the first attack, Drain attack, I think it's simple, it's really good, and I like it. Like, you can't really go too wrong with Drain attack. It gives you 2 spirit, you do damage, and you heal yourself. So I think it's just good. Guard Destroy is another really good attack. It's really straightforward. It's very useful in a lot of like against a lot of teams, especially in the beginning, because there are just so many guards, and guards are just so prevalent in like the first couple rounds in the battalion. And then Stun All Exit is where I guess that's kind of her gimmick, or that's her niche. And then I think at first it seems like really amazing. You stun all enemies for 100, and then so since there's like 4 enemies, that's like a total of 400 to you combined, which could be like really powerful. And then after that, you go back to the end of the battalion. And then when you pair it with her Brave Armor, and it only works like when you don't have any reinforcements, but since hopefully you're all the way in the back of the battalion, you won't have any reinforcements, then you have an armor skill which can help with her survivability. That and her Time Thief entry, which stuns the lowest enemies, who has the lowest enemy to you, and then it reduces the your own longest to you by 100. So it's like it makes the enemy who's gonna act soonest get stunned and delay them, and your enemy that's like the most delayed will act sooner. So to me this means like you don't want her in the first 4 units, so that you could potentially trigger this effect twice. So you could just have her reinforcements, trigger Time Thief entry, and then eventually use Stun All Exit, and then use Time Thief entry again. And since like now you're guaranteed at the back because of her Stun All Exit, then you can use her Mage Stand. And this is good because like it's 300% damage, and you get to poison the enemy if there's no reinforcements on your team, and since hopefully you're in the very back, and 500% if you're the only one, kind of like a final stand. So it's like a dual purpose. It can do 300 or it could do 500. So at first it might sound like a really good unit. Merlin, it kind of sounds like a power crept SRolotia and Cygnus, and kind of like merged together. And SRolotia, I think she was actually top tier for a really long time because her stun entry, especially upon initial release. And Cygnus was also a really strong unit with his Brave Armor in Crisis Avenger when he was first released. But there are actually some like drawbacks and kind of conditions that like kind of want to like point out, just like to kind of like food for thought. So for let's just go to those 2 units real quick. I have right here. So for SRolotia, like her stun entry and step back are debatably might be better actually, because it might be also easier to use, because Time Thief entry is nice. Like it rearranges and changes the orders of like the initial like units that like are about to act when she enters. However, stun entry, it stuns, it's actually double stun entry. It stuns like the one with the lowest and stuns the highest. And the thing about like stunning someone with the highest is actually really important for stun teams and being able to synergize with stun units, because a lot of the times like some sort of time strike attack is usually based off if enemies have a TU of 130 plus, or it scales even higher with 200 plus. So units like Chiari, this unit, SRolotia, like Altarion, like the Big Dragon, Norza, all of their time strikes are all based off of 130 and 200. And since like if you're stunning a unit that already has a high TU or turn unit stuff time, it increases those chances and you're more likely able to use those time attacks, with the exception of like Mizuchi, I think, who has like 100 TU option, but it still scales with that 130 and 200. And the other reason why I think Rolotia still might be a little bit better is because Step Back uses 2 Spirit, while the Stun All Exit uses 3, which kind of makes sense because it is a more powerful and impactful skill, since the Stun Exit All like stuns all of them, and it has like the additional effect of like pulling you all the way in the back. But being a stun unit, if you've noticed, like if you ever played stun before, is the thing is that like because stun is so powerful by affecting the TU and like who can actually take an action and do stuff, it costs a lot of spirit. Like Chrono Stun is 3 spirit, and the thing is like stun is very powerful, but it's spirit heavy, and not having enough spirit for SRolotia's Step Back can be hard sometimes. So to me, in my head, that kind of means that Exit All Stun is going to be even harder to trigger. And the other thing is, like, SRolotia isn't like as highly ranked as she used to be. Like she's still a good unit, and she doesn't really need too much investment to be good. But for Merlin, I think you kind of have to invest a little bit more into her, because the Stun All Exit does have a 100 TU, like you're locked, or it's locked before you can actually use it. And the other thing is that SRolotia has Hold Ground, and SRolotia, like, Hold Ground has saved me a lot, which allowed me to use Step Back. And another thing is like a lot of what you want from a good stun unit is that you can like keep stunning. And Merlin has like the one initial time thief entry, like, so she has that more or less guarantee stun, and then you can stun 2 more times if you get a successful like stun exit all, and then you re-enter, assuming you're not fighting a burn or crisis enemy that like just completely resists stun. But with SRolotia, she has stun entry, Step Back, but she also has Chrono Stun, which is locked after use it for 200, but it can potentially be used like an unlimited amount of times, especially if we're thinking like battalion use. Like you can keep stunning, and Merlin kind of has a set amount of times you can actually stun the enemy team. And the thing is, like, if you don't invest too much into Merlin, she won't necessarily survive enough to be able to use Stun All Exit. But like she does have Mage Stand, which kind of brings me to a comparison to Cygnus. Let me just find him real quick. Cyrus. Cygnus? Cyrus. Cyrus. I don't know why I said Cygnus. Cyrus. But just comparing to Cyrus, like, again, when upon a release, I think he was a very powerful unit, and he was actually kind of scary to fight him at times. And like you could just put him at the end of your team, and he could like just completely carry like a losing game. However, the thing is, like, his initial release was when PvP was only teams of 8 units. Now that battalions are a thing, there are a lot more units that you're going to be fighting, and there's a lot more like to get through to the end. And with a lot more units, there's actually a lot more enemies that have access to banish, which sends units to the very back of your battalion. And I think this also, like, it's really hard to predict, so it's not as reliable as it was before, of just like throw him in the back and he'll always be in the back. He'll reliably be at the very end. So it's not as reliable as before. And I think this also kind of limits what kind of units you can use yourself. The first being like Joan of Arc, since she sends back one of your own units to replace Michelle as like a guard, and like also the entire cast of characters that use Mori, like the original Snow White, who has like the Dawn Mori that like at the start of the turn you have to, and a good portion of like the newer ones or newer units that use Mori are actually like poison and stun, which is like the type of team that you would think Merlin would want to be on, like to use her kit, since her mage stand does poison, but like it kind of like messes stuff up a bit. And then like storm poison, a lot of them use Mori, like Storm Colin at that have like every time you kill an enemy it makes more Mori, or Shuten Doji, and then her, like if you attack a poison unit then you can gain more Mori that way. And they both like, there's a lot of units that use Mori, and I think that like if you have that Mori, she's no longer in the back. And if you have the Mori and then her, you're not going to be using blood anything. You're not going to be using blood stun. You're not using like any of those Mori. So it's not a very good synergy together, which is just unfortunate, I think. And the other thing is that Guard Breaker is really good at the beginning, but it's typically a little bit more on the useless side at the end of the battalion, just because all the guards are usually all at the front. So in my opinion, like Drain Attack it's good, it's solid, but doesn't do a whole lot of damage, but it's nice. At the beginning, she's going to be using Guard Destroyer, that's great, but she's not going to be touching Mage Stand, and Stun All Exit is just, it's more or less non-existent until the first 100. And hopefully you're able to get it off. After that, Guard Destroyer kind of becomes, you can't really, well, you can use it, but the likelihood is pretty low of you actually using it. Stun All Exit's not going to be available since it's once per battle, and Mage Stand will be like, you're just hoping you're actually in the very back. So overall, like, I think she can be good if you're like willing to invest in her, and she can survive that 100, like at least 100 for the first. Because again, you don't really necessarily want her in the first 4 either, because then you're not going to be able to trigger her Time Thief entry. So yeah, like just kind of overall, I think she can be good. If you really like her, if you really want her, you can summon for her, but I wouldn't say she's not necessarily like a must-have unit. If you're trying to save like 30k for Fountain, I would say you can skip her. But that being said, I'm gonna go and try and get a copy, just cause, like, partially to try her out, see how she feels, see how her AI works, and also for a video, so I can like show you guys and see what you guys think. So we're gonna start at 232. I don't think I'm actually gonna, I don't know if I'm gonna go too hard for her though. Like, I am not going super deep for a copy. Like, I think I'm gonna cap it at 200. So we start at 232. So like at 212, I think. Yeah, 212. I'm gonna call it quits. Yeah, I don't know if the other one I could have just skipped. I was semi not paying attention. Talking and playing and multitasking. Ah. Okay. Hopefully we can get at least one copy within the first 200. Try out and yeah, show everybody what she's all about. Maybe it'll prove me wrong. Like, yeah, I don't know. These are just first impressions, thoughts, things to. I don't think that could. Yeah, I was like, I didn't see the right colors. Yeah, this is just like first impressions, initial thoughts. Come on, one copy. Where are you at? So if you started 232, I think I'm going to 212 then. So we only got a couple more. Is it gonna give me one? Wow, we're getting a lot of off units, which is actually kind of surprising and pretty rare. Really hoping this is her because we're getting pretty close to that 200 mark. And I don't know, I kind of want her mainly for the video. Crap, that's not her. Can we get her in 3 more? Come on. Come on, just one copy. I think, oh, I don't have a good feeling about this. Damn it. 2 left. Oh boy. Here's the last one. I don't know. That's not it. Well, poop. How much do I want her? I don't know. If I did another video recently that I'm gonna finish editing and post later on, but I went really far for a character I did not really want, and it was pretty painful. Like, not gonna lie, it was actually really painful, and I regret it so much. So let's do one more. If not, I think I'm gonna call it quits, because again, I think she can be good, and she is good. I just don't think she's super amazing. Okay, last one. Last one, come on. If we get her, great. If not, I'm stopping. Come on, gotcha gods. Shit. I mean, there's still a chance. That's a bad chance. Oh, spoke too soon. Is that's her? Oh wow, we got real lucky. I was definitely gonna stop summoning if we didn't get her, but we got her. It's kind of a relief, but that also means I need to make another video. Okay, but yeah, I guess I will finish up this video, post it tonight, and then I don't actually have that much mana, so I'll probably wait till tomorrow and then try her out, build her to like 80 or 100 depending on how much character pots I have, and then show you guys some AI gameplay. So yeah, thanks for watching. Let me know down in the comments below, what do you think of her? Like, what do you think about, I guess, this analysis style of video? If you like it, if you think the thoughts are good or if it helps you with your decisions on summoning or saving or not. And yeah, subscribe if you can. Thanks for watching, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care. Bye.